The first time Ethan Walker stepped into the old hospital, the air felt heavier than it should have. The building had been abandoned for decades, sitting on the edge of the city like a wound that never healed. He wasn't there for adventure or fun. He was there because of a rumor. A whisper that somewhere inside the hospital was a corridor that never ended. A hallway that stretched beyond time and space, swallowing anyone who dared to walk its length. Ethan didn't believe in ghosts, but he did believe in curiosity, and his curiosity had cost him peace long before this night. He carried a flashlight, a small camera, and an old notebook filled with his sketches and notes about urban legends. The moon hung low over the crumbling roof, its pale light spilling through shattered windows. The entrance door was chained, but the side window had been smashed open long ago. Ethan slipped through it, landing on the dusty floor with a soft thud. The smell hit him immediately: mold, rust, and something faintly metallic, like dried blood. He flicked on his flashlight and began to move. The beam sliced through the darkness, catching on faded medical posters, rusted bed frames, and graffiti scrawled across the walls. "The corridor knows you." He ignored it. He'd seen worse. As he moved deeper, he began filming, narrating his steps quietly. November 12th, Old St. Adriel's Hospital. Searching for the so-called endless corridor. If this is real, it's supposed to be near the surgical ward. His voice sounded smaller in the empty building, swallowed by the thick silence. Every hallway looked the same. Peeling paint, broken tiles, empty gurneys. The flashlight flickered once, then stabilized. His boots echoed against the concrete floor. At the far end of a long hall, he found a doorway marked Ward C. Someone had drawn an arrow below it in red spray paint. "Guess that's the way," Ethan murmured. He pushed the door open. Inside, the air was colder. He could see his breath in front of him. The flashlight beam cut across a series of rooms, all empty, save for overturned furniture and broken glass. He moved carefully, his every step crunching against the debris. Then he found it. The corridor. It didn't look like much at first, just a long, narrow hallway stretching ahead. The floor was spotless compared to the rest of the hospital. The walls were smooth, freshly whitewashed. No graffiti. No dust. No decay. Just silence. He checked his watch. 11:23 p.m. He took a deep breath, lifted his camera, and stepped forward. At first, nothing happened. The corridor stretched endlessly, the same repeating pattern of fluorescent lights and doors on either side. Every 50 feet, he saw a door marked with a number: 101, 102, 103. The lights above hummed faintly, flickering every so often. After about 10 minutes, Ethan turned around. His stomach tightened. The entrance was gone. Behind him was the same white hallway, stretching infinitely backward. "Okay," he whispered, forcing a nervous laugh. "Maybe it's just an illusion. Some kind of architectural trick." He pulled a marker from his pocket and drew a black line across the wall beside door 107. Then he kept walking. 5 minutes later, he saw door 107 again, and the black line. He had walked in a circle. "No," he muttered. He turned around and walked the other way. Again, door 107 appeared. The same line. The same humming lights. The air seemed to grow thicker. His flashlight flickered again, but he noticed something else now. The lights above were dimming, one by one, as if following him. A slow, deliberate sequence. He began to walk faster, then jog, then run. Every door looked the same. 108, 109, 110, then 101 again. His breathing quickened. His camera recorded everything, the trembling light bouncing across the walls. "Hello," he shouted. "Is anyone here?" His voice echoed, then came back distorted, like someone else was whispering the same words, but slower. He stopped walking. What the hell? Then he heard it, faint footsteps behind him. Slow, deliberate, matching his pace. He swung around. The corridor was empty. "All right, this isn't funny," he said, raising the flashlight. "Who's there?" Silence. Then a door creaked open. Room 113. The door slowly swung wide, revealing nothing but darkness. Ethan took a hesitant step toward it. The inside of the room seemed darker than the rest of the corridor, almost like the shadows were alive. He leaned in, shining his light. The beam didn't reach the back of the room. It was as if the light was being swallowed. He turned to leave, but the door slammed shut behind him. His flashlight went out. Total blackness. He could hear breathing now. Not his own. Slow, ragged breaths, inches from his ear. "Who's there?" he whispered. A whisper answered, faint but clear. "Keep walking." Ethan froze. "What do you mean?" The whisper came again, this time from the other side. "Keep walking." He reached for the door handle, pulled. It opened easily now. The corridor was still there, but it looked different. The lights had turned red. The doors were gone. The walls pulsed like veins beneath the surface. He stumbled forward, disoriented. This isn't real." The whisper followed him. "Keep walking." So he did. Time stopped meaning anything. His watch was frozen at 12:01. He walked for what felt like hours, maybe days. The corridor changed as he did, sometimes expanding, sometimes narrowing until he could barely squeeze through. The whispers became voices. Dozens of them, all murmuring fragments of things he couldn't understand. Then he saw something ahead, a figure. A man standing perfectly still under a flickering light. His face was hidden by shadows. Ethan called out, "Hey, can you help me? I can't find the exit." The man didn't move. Ethan approached slowly. As the light flickered again, he saw the man's face, and his heart stopped. It was his own. Same eyes. Same jacket. Same terrified expression. The other Ethan opened his mouth and said, "You shouldn't have come here." Then the lights went out. When they came back, the other Ethan was gone, and all the doors had returned. Only now, the numbers were different. Backwards. Counting down. 110, 109, 108. He realized what it meant. Something was leading him somewhere. He walked faster. The air vibrated now with whispers, overlapping voices saying the same word over and over. Down. He reached door 101 again, but now it was slightly open. A faint blue light glowed inside. He pushed it open and found a staircase descending into darkness. He hesitated, then started down. Each step echoed endlessly. The walls grew tighter. The whispers became screams. Faces began to form in the walls, stretching, shifting, mouthing silent words. At the bottom of the stairs, there was another door. A metal one. Rusted. A small plaque read, "Maintenance access. Authorized personnel only." He pushed it open. The corridor beyond was smaller, almost a crawl space, but he crawled through anyway. The air was freezing now. His hands trembled. He could hear something behind him, scraping along the walls, getting closer. When he emerged, he wasn't in the hospital anymore. He was in his apartment. For a moment, relief flooded him. He dropped his camera, laughing shakily. "Oh my God, it was all in my head." Then he noticed the clock on the wall. 12:01. The same time. He turned toward his front door. It was slightly open. Beyond it, the same corridor. White walls. Humming lights. "No," he whispered. He ran toward the window, but outside was darkness. No city lights. No stars. Nothing. Just the corridor stretching infinitely outward. His phone buzzed suddenly. A notification. He pulled it out. It was a live stream. His own camera. Streaming. From behind him. The angle showed his back as he stood frozen in his apartment, staring into the corridor. Then, in the stream's chat, a new comment appeared. "Keep walking." Ethan dropped the phone. The lights above began to flicker violently. The floor rumbled beneath his feet. He screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the hum of the corridor. Then silence. The stream continued for another 13 hours before ending on its own. When police investigated, the apartment was empty. No trace of Ethan was found. Only the camera, still recording, facing an open door that led nowhere. And sometimes, late at night, if you find the right corner of the internet, you can still find that footage. If you listen closely, you'll hear a whisper just before the feed cuts off. "Keep walking."